A lot, apparently.
Quick practice today.
Yeah, I mean, we've hit 590 player load last week, and we monitor every movement and our player loads essentially. And like I said the other day, our player loads have been 11 to 13% higher per practice. The last player load was a little higher than what we wanted, and the last practice is a good thing, right? But so we wanted to deload them a little bit, take some helmets off, take the banging off before we have a great, hard, long practice on Saturday.
What's defined load?
Load is just a combination of yardage moved, top speeds. Basically, O-line is a little bit different. They manage it a little bit different, but just top speeds, distance moved, accelerations. They call them explosive movements. So it all kind of gets put together to see how hard you're practicing. That's why we have those metrics. We can literally see this practice, which was the same structure, is 14% higher than last year at this time. All the spring practice combined are, I don't know what it is now, 2 days ago it was I think 11 and a half, something like that, percent higher. So we have all that monitored. So like I said, Tuesday was a good day, hard day. So I wanted to put them in helmets, get them back rested, not be stupid, and then have a really, really, really hard day Saturday, which won't just be a scrimmage. It'll be kind of a half practice, half scrimmage setting there, so we can actually get a little bit more work and try to get our player loads back up a little bit.
Is that just for day practice or night?
Day practice. We have recruits.
Is that just the purpose of just having preparations just for the spring game, of just knowing who's going to go, who's going to be the ones, who's going to be the twos, just finalizing that? That's the reason why?
No, not at all. We don't have ones and twos.
Coach, with the spring game on Friday, are you changing practice next week at all? Or?
Yes, practice next week will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday for that purpose.
So that makes sense then, right?
Yep.
Instead of practice on Thursday, Friday.
Exactly right.
So what does this tell you about like how conditioned that you are, fitness levels, depth, things from the
Yeah, we're just better. Whether that's the conditioning levels better or the wanting to be great level is better, or the culture is better in terms of what it should look like. Last year I think we had to break out of the huddle multiple times, just breaking out to know where we go for period one special teams. We haven't had to do that. We've only had to kind of restart this was the second drill we had to restart today in spring. So I think just it's the intensity of what it takes is better, not to be confused with where it should be. We're still not where it should be. These practices, in my opinion, should be in the 600, low 600 player loads. When we're hitting it right now, we're in the 570, 580 mode, which is still a huge step for us, but it's still not where we got to get to. But it's just not going to go hit these elite player loads that some of these elite programs do with this amount of time on the field on similar practice structures. It's not just how it's going to happen. It takes time to build that up, and we are building that.
Are they different in the spring than they are in the fall?
Not fall. Fall camp is very similar. And then when we get into transition to game week mode, Tuesdays will be somewhat similar, and then the other days of the week will kind of tailor back as we go. And then the longer the season, the less load you obviously put on the guys.
Coach, talk about what the progression of the linebacker room has looked like throughout the spring. It's a position group that I feel like a lot of people necessarily have been talking about, considering it's one of the smaller ones. You still have about like 6-7 new guys necessarily in that room. Can you just talk about how it's been progressing so far?
Yeah, those guys are smart and savvy football players. I mean, that's what I would say about that room is they're all vets and they're all really intelligent football players. They've all had an interception, or those top guys have all made a play just based off of instincts. And I say that position is one of the positions that instincts matter most. You can be physical, you can be fast, but does running 20 miles per hour make you a good linebacker, or 21 make you a good linebacker? At times, but is it essential? No. What is essential? The ability to see something and react, which that's football, we all know, but at linebacker, you have to be athletic enough, and then you have to have elite instincts to be able to see things, diagnose things, and then respond to those things without a blink of an eye. Oh, play action. Oh, I got to get out. What are they trying to accomplish? This is a climb team, vertical cross team, in bunch sets. They were in bunch. They ran wide zone. I'm the deep over player. Panic. I got to get back. I'm searching out the deep over. You have to be able to process that like this when you play linebacker, especially in a one-high defense, because everything is predicated off you getting out of run fits when it's passed. So you have to have smart linebackers in this scheme.
You're going to rely on several newcomers in the secondary. How have those guys progressed?
I think our secondary I think we're fairly talented. I think it's really good competition, which is great. It challenges the guys every day. The newcomers, Javen's done a great job. Cole, Rouser, getting Montana Warren back. Keith Abney's like 20 pounds heavier than he was last year, and he looks good. He's moving well, and that's not even counting Alford's technically back. So, we have kind of two newcomers in Alford and Montana who didn't play last year, but they're in our 2D. Like, they're good football players, not including the other three guys that we brought in to the room. So that room is deep and is competitive.
How about Jamari Simmons? Obviously, he kind of seemed like a breakout performer last year, and now you're going to really be looking for him to take the next step.
No question. I mean, he was team MVP last year for a reason, because he's got that competitive dog you want in a football player. I mean, we're getting beat by I don't know how many points, the most points you could possibly lose by in that length of a game versus Utah, and he's over there playing his butt off. And if we had a team that everybody just played like that with that amount of passion, right, you're not going to be in those games. You won't be in those games because you have a team like that practices like that lives like that. So having a guy like that come back is huge for us.
Coach, the transfer portal opened Tuesday. How does that ratchet up you and your staff's time and energy?
Yeah, right now, I mean, we kind of put together a team with a plan that the spring portal we didn't want to use it very much. I mean, depending on if guys leave our team, which I don't plan, I don't hope, knock on wood, that we have, exit. I think people want to be here. They love what we're building. They like what we're doing. So we wanted to kind of fill up our roster in the winter portal, which we felt like there are actually, pretty talented depth in the winter portal, because we kind of learned from experience last spring portal. We had a bunch of spots to fill, and we're like, golly, where are the players? Not enough players in here. So I just think, learning the portal and then adjusting our strategy, 12 months later. So we're not going to take as many in this spring.